My first introduction to terrorism started in 1984, on the 3rd of June 1984. Our youngest brother, Hugh, had been a member of the security forces, and he was assassinated on that date. It was very, very traumatic. Hugh was a wonderful human being, a lot more fun to be with than I am. He wasn't a serious person. He was 26 years old when he died. He had two children, Paul and Heather. One was 5 and one was 3. I don't need to tell you the devastation that we had to deal with going into that family home on a Sunday morning when two children were asking why their daddy is not there. That was the provisional IRA. There were 3 shooters involved. I remember that the early hours of Sunday morning when my brother came to tell me that Hugh had been shot dead. I just wanted to know, did he die instantly? Did he suffer? And James said to me, I'll put it this way to you, they were going to make sure that there was going to be no miraculous surgery done.
The police believe that the killers may have hired Mr. Gallagher's taxi and lured him to the scene of the murder. A local man heard shots and ran out of his house.
All of a sudden I saw a man diving through a gate that's into a vegetable garden. He was crouching down, I didn't see his features. So after that I went down to the car and went round in the car, and I saw this man. I looked down and saw this man slouched over his feet and next to the driver's seat, and slouched across on the passenger seat.
An extensive search was carried out in the area of the shooting. The taxi was towed to a local police station.
It was a small gathering of friends and relatives. They came to pay tribute to the 26-year-old taxi driver and former UDR man Hugh Gallagher. He lived near Killyclougher Parish Church near Omagh with his wife Eileen and 2 children, 5-year-old Paul and 3-year-old Heather. As relatives comforted Mrs. Gallagher, the 2 children stayed with other members of the family, still unaware of their father's murder. As the coffin was carried to the adjoining cemetery for burial, members of the Gallagher family spoke about IRA claims that Hugh Gallagher had continued his links with the security forces even after leaving the UDR in February this year. His brother John said such claims were nonsense.
I can state quite categorically at this minute that he left the UDR and was finished in February. There's reports out saying that he was in the RUC or undergoing training for the RUC, but he failed his entrance examination for it before Christmas. And when he was shot, he was in nothing. Everything was handed back to UDR, and he was in no organisation of any kind. All he was doing was providing a living for his family and looking after 2 children.
Murder is murder.